So let me just talk a little bit about our topic for today. We're going to be talking about leveraging on social media platforms to accelerate your business. And this panel will show you the importance of social media platforms and how you can utilize it for your business. Our moderator for today is the co-founder and CEO of Antsomi. Hi, Serm.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
How's your week going so far?
Very busy and very excited to looking forward to these panel discussions.
Well, you know what they say, an idle mind is the workshop of the devil. So it's always better to be busy than to be, free. So I'm glad things are going well on your end, and we're happy to have you here as our moderator for today. Now let's go ahead and introduce our panelists. First up, we have the digital marketing manager of Exabytes, Jerrick. Hi, Jerrick.
Hi.
Hello, nice to see you again, old friend. Is everything well on your end?
Yeah, good.
All right, cool. Up next, we have the founder of MysteryQR, Nikhil Khandelwal. Hi, Nikhil.
Hello, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I am super pumped. I'm not sure if this will last throughout the entire day, but we'll see. But more importantly, we're happy to see you here.
Same here, same here. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Up next, we have the head of business of Oxwhite. Hi, Rachel. Looking good.
Hi, morning, everyone.
Morning.
Hi.
And finally, we have the marketing strategist and new profits consultant of Authority Institute. Let's welcome Maverick Fu. Hi, Maverick. Nice to meet you.
Hey, awesome morning to all. Good morning, good morning.
And it's so nice to have you on board with us at the SME Digital Summit 2020. Now you guys know how this works. You basically have 30 minutes for your discussion and 10 minutes for your Q&A. So to everyone else who's watching, if you have any questions for our panelists regarding their topic, leave them in the Q&A box. And whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thank you, Lauren. Thanks for the great intro. Good morning, everyone. I'm Serm from Antsomi, a regional marketing technology companies. I'm the moderator of these sessions. We have a fantastic panelists for this topic today, as introduced by Lauren. We have panelists represent B2B and also B2C businesses, technology provider and agency as well. This will definitely be able to provide you guys a comprehensive perspective on the topics. Without further ado, let's start the panel discussion with an overview questions. Of all the digital channels, including website, mobile apps, social medias, messaging, digital ads, and email, which is the most important channel to grow your business from your perspective? Jerrick, maybe you want to start this first?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So if let's say from Exabytes, definitely website is the main one because we're selling hosting, we're selling domain, selling web design. So there is no other much place that actually allow us to post our products. So we need to have our website. Of course, we're looking up next will be mobile apps because currently we are developing a mobile apps that allow you to actually register a domain or renew a domain less than 30 seconds, which is compared faster than a website. Then definitely up next going to be Google is our second, and social media is going to be our third, and email going to be number 4.
Great. I do have a fantastic experience when I go to Exabyte website. Your customer service support immediately will pop up and say hi to me and start to engage with me. I think that kind of engagement really can bring a lot of potential leads to you guys. Yeah. Rachel, how about you? How about from Oxwhite standpoint?
All right. So I think for everybody who have not heard about Oxwhite, Oxwhite is a direct-to-consumer lifestyle brand. Started off selling shirts, and then eventually we expanded into different categories. So for us, I think we are 100% digital native, right? When we launched purely on Facebook. When we raised funds, when we ran our pre-order for our white shirts, everything was purely on Facebook, right? So for Oxwhite, I think our sales are mainly driven by social media as a whole, website sales 100%, and of course EDM as well. So we have a group of very loyal customer base with a very high return rate of about 40 to 48%. Yeah, so we're looking at leveraging on even other digital channels that is not mentioned here, like for example, marketplaces, to drive business growth of our business lah. Yeah.
Okay. Oxwhite has been phenomenal last few years, especially on social media. I'm sure Rachel will be able to share with us more case study later on. Nikhil, how about you as a technology service provider?
Yeah, so MysteryQR is the new kid in town, right? So we are just 2 months old, and we are basically the solution provider providing marketing solutions by using QR code as a technology, right? Till date, you have been seeing QR codes around payments. So we have taken it beyond that, how you can use it for marketing. And every channel has a different, their own importance. So like website can be for the information, right? I may do a lot of social media things, but if I'm not available I'm not there on the website, my reliability or authenticity will be challenged. Mobile app is pretty much good for the transactions, right? And also for the discovery. Social media, of course, for intro, engagement, transactions, things are expanding. It was initially, it was only about that, okay, hey, this is the post. Now it's about more about engaging followers and all that. Now, even things are expanding where you can do the transactions. And it's very much accessible, because I would bank on social media, because I would not expect that if my website to have like a million daily active users or monthly active users, but on social media, I can still plan out the things where how can I actually do that, especially like how Oxwhite has done it, right? It has been like the needle mover in that segment. So yeah, and Google or digital ads or something, sorry to say, but not everyone understands it. Everyone has been throwing the money. So it's still very much limited to people who knows it, how to use the money and strategy. So it's good for them. Emails are more for the follow-up and the post sales. So every channel plays a unique role. You cannot say that, okay, I'll just bank on one and then I'll stop focusing on other. But go-to-market approach, yes, social media for the initial beginning level people.
Nikhil mentioned something very important. Everyone is throwing money. So later on, we will discuss about ad budget also, so that we will see how to develop the strategy for budget.
Yeah,
Maverick,
I just
sorry,
got 20.
Nikhil?
I just got 20 ringgit budget from Laureen, right? Free money.
Okay, that's great. Maverick, how about you from an agency standpoint? Which channel is the most important tools for you?
Okay, actually, to start with, that's actually not a very smart question. The truth is that end of the day, you have to ask yourself where the customers are. So if let's say the customers are spending a lot of time on TikTok, then I guess businesses have to go on TikTok. So a lot of businesses think that, hey, let me create something new and drag the customer over. Getting customers' attention is one of the hardest things today. So I think it's a lot easier if you just head over to where they're already kind of hanging out. But if you ask me what has repeatedly saved us and our clients, so during the last 82 days itself, since the start of MCO, our clients already make 60 million US. But one thing that really repeatedly saved our assets repeatedly was emails. So email marketing is one thing that people don't focus as much, but one is also one of the last few old technology where you can actually still own the contact details of the customer, because anything else that's on LinkedIn or Facebook. So sometimes people ask, like, let's say everything were to go bankrupt again, what's one thing that I'll need? Frankly, just with LinkedIn and email, I can borrow a phone. Within a few days, the business will be back to, not to normal, but everything, basically money will start coming in already.
Thanks, Maverick, for providing this fantastic insight. I think we all forget about how important email is in our daily life.
Correct.
Of course, you also mentioned about LinkedIn, which could be part of the social discussion later on. So let's get back to our main topics after we have this overview of multiple channels playing different role in our digital landscape. So how social really can help our business. So Jerrick, especially from Exabytes standpoint, Exabytes is a hosting company and it is a B2B business. Can you elaborate on how your company use social media for growing a B2B business, which is quite different?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question, Sarah. Yeah. Especially when starting with Facebook, everyone was starting to afraid that when we're using social media, will it become our service platform at that time, right? So actually, currently we are using social media as a role. There's 4 different roles. Okay, so the first one is a service. Okay, because of the client want to have fast services, so they usually will be asked through Messenger and even through WhatsApp. So if you notice that right now, we even have a WhatsApp support as well. Right? So the main purpose is to assist client immediately. Then of course we wish to collect feedback, rating, and also survey. Then second roles that we're using for the social media will be sales. Okay, so we're using social media usually mainly for we target back our existing clients. So we are mainly focused on retargeting back our fans, our clients by doing upsell and resell. And also we try to increase our conversion rates, means that for those that look at our product but do not purchase, so we keep on showing them our value of our products and so on.
Yep.
Then another role is we're building community. So we actually have Exabyte designer group and Exabyte developer group. So these are the things that how we gather all the designer and developers. Of course, they are our target markets, but we're not going to hard sell or anything to talk about Exabytes. So we mainly is just discuss about design or website developments, how to improve your website and so on. Everything is all about sharing around the designers and developers. And we also have a like Malaysia Website Awards. So all the designers actually can join the events. Then the last thing is about education. So we do have a lot of videos and articles, all those sharing social medias to educate the markets, like how to grow business online, how to get the sales within the first week, how to get traffic, and so on. Yeah, so actually a lot of things that can be done in social media.
Yeah, I particularly like the community developments that you mentioned just now, that how you use social media to engage with developer and designer who are your potential customer and convert them into a B2B kind of customer.
Yeah,
Rachel, come from a B2C standpoint, Oxwhite has been so successful last few years, and social media, as you mentioned just now, play a very important role to grow your business. Can you share with us, I think that is very important today. What is your secrets? What is your strategy? And how you guys execute it? I think everyone is looking forward to listen and learn from you guys.
Okay, so for Oxwhite, just to share, when we launched 2 years ago, 2018, right? We launched by actually asking people to pre-order our white Suprema cotton shirt, right? And within a few hours, we actually sold about over 6,000 shirts in that one day, right? And this was all done purely on Facebook ads. So what we did was we said, hey, pre-order this shirt at 69 ringgit. Of course, we educate them a lot by putting out content that was relevant, right, to what we were selling, and ensuring that the content we put out there for our brand and the storytelling is as genuine as possible, right? So what was the story, right? When we told the story, it was about our founder, CK, right? It's about him embarking on a journey to find the right product for Asian physique, right? Because there are a lot of comments about how Asians, when you buy shirts, your sleeves are too long or too short, etc. So he was just telling his story about finding the right shirt for him. And he got inspired by Hugo Boss, the white shirt, and good quality white shirts cost very expensive, right? As most of the men know. So he traveled around the region to source for a manufacturer that could develop a product that would fit Asian physique at a reasonable price, right? And he found it to be very costly to make. So he tried to make it as affordable as possible, hence the pre-order model when we launched. So that whole story was utilized as a marketing strategy, right? We said, hey, let's just tell this story. It's the truth. Let's tell people that, hey, we are going on this journey, and let's ask people for help, right? Let's ask them to submit their emails, and let's ask them to pre-order this shirt if they really believe in this idea, right? And you can see exactly the price you're paying for as well, down to the percentage and amount that we make. Hence the honest pricing model that Oxwhite is very known for, right? And Facebook as a platform has helped us not only just to sell these white shirts, but we collected over 60,000 emails in 2 weeks, right? During this, so we collected about 60,000 emails in 2 weeks, and all this with just one product, just one SKU, the white shirt.
That is amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
So it was actually a learning curve for us as well, because honestly, I think if I was asking CK, having a chat with him that day, and he said, actually we were just targeting maybe a few thousand, 3,000-4,000 shirts to sell. Didn't expect a lot of EDM as well, because people are Malaysians especially are very concerned about putting their email, and they don't want to be spammed. So we were actually very surprised ourselves. So we collected about 60,000 emails in 2 weeks, and we have since launched, especially this year, we ventured into other SKUs ranging from women to menswear to innerwear, home and personal care and accessories, right? And the idea here is to also launch another 50 SKUs in the next 6 months. So honestly, the strategy is really more making content relatable, telling people a good story, and making them understand where you're coming from, and offering them a service and a product that they could benefit from, right, from a practical standpoint. And we communicate this out through our community channels. We communicate this out on our EDM, our website, social media as well, to be consistent.
I particularly like the part that you mentioned about the story of CK. I think that storytelling is very important, particularly from content development standpoint, and how you engage with your audience and make the story resonate with them, right? Nikhil, you mentioned about MysteryQR is a gamified way to make the marketing campaign go viral across online, offline, and virtual channels. Can you give a little bit of overview of how it works and how you leverage on social?
Okay, so let me share it via an example, right? So just now in the beginning of the presentation, we saw a QR code and you scan and you get 20 ringgit of Grab food. How about I change it and I say scan and you can win up to RM 3000 worth Grab food vouchers. Now there are 1,000 people in this chat group, in this seminar, right? Everyone scan, they get a different promotion. So let's say I scan the QR, maybe I get 5 ringgit Grab food promo. You scan the same QR, you get 10 ringgit worth Grab food promo. Third person scan the same QR, maybe he get a 50 ringgit Grab food promo, right? So it's like a gamified version where when upon scanning, you do not know what you are getting, but you get a mystery promo, right? So the way it is happening today, if you go out on social platforms or even in the offline world, everyone is doing 10% off, 20% off, 10% off, 20% off, right? And it's kind of, there is no such extra element that, okay, why should I come to you? Because everyone has got same promotions. And since last 30 years, everyone is doing 50% off during the Christmas and all that. Can we do better than that? Or at the same time, can we reduce the cost while doing that? Then I would say, why don't we do a probability game that upon scanning, everyone is getting something different. So imagine if I put up a billboard or on a social platform and I say, scan and one person can win Tesla. What will happen? Suddenly you will take the photo and you will even send it to your WhatsApp group and asking your friends and say, hey guys, scan. Of course, one person win Tesla, but remaining 99% of the population, they win something else. And of course, upon scanning, merchants are getting data, which is could be email, phone number, and all that. So what, for the very first time when I used or I brought up this MysteryQR functionality last year at the Malaysia Tech Week, which was organized by MDEC and BNM, we placed one QR code in Bangsa South Nexus, and in 1 week, 130,000 people claimed. So I saw that people transacting and people scanning in Alostar as well and Langkawi as well. So it went viral. So for me, it was like, hey, how do we take the QR codes usage beyond payments? Because payments have some blockers. You need to download an app. You need to do the top up. I would say, hey, let's not do that. Let's just place the QR code, just open up your camera, scan it, and you win something. Like how you are, and good part is that because of during this COVID-19 period, everyone has got the learning behavior that how to use the QR codes. So that is working in the favor. Now on the social media, I can say that, hey, first like my post. And once I hit 300 likes, then I will unlock the QR. So maybe I show the half blur image or half QR, half product image. And once I hit 500 likes, I will unlock the code. And maybe that's for first 300 people. That's where entire content angle comes in, right? It can be used on delivery boxes. Today, businesses, let's say they are relying on Grab and Food Panda and the e-delivery. And imagine people stop coming to the merchants at all in future. So businesses will die. What they can do, they can just place the QR code, put it on their box and say, hey, like our food, scan to win. And when the person scan, maybe first one person get free coffee for 2 ringgit on Sunday. Another person get French fries after 9:30 p.m., maybe for 1 ringgit. It could be gamified. At least people would say, hey, let me go over there and actually redeem it, because at the end of the day, Southeast Asians or Malaysians love free stuff, or they love all this sort of stuff, right? So riding on all this stuff like business cards, social media, live streaming, billboards, POSMs, the use cases goes beyond that, where the QR code technology can be applied.
Okay, I guess the key here is the gamification and how to gamify the social experience and make the social experience to be very interesting.
Yeah. Actually, one thing which I've realized it, whenever we have introduced gamification in my past experience as well, it has led to more stickiness. So, right, why even you drive your followers and likes on your page, right? You have immense following, but it's very much important to keep the people engaged and sticky as well on your platform.
Yeah, it's all about engagement on social platforms, right? So Maverick, you work with many clients as an agency. the example you mentioned about LinkedIn being used, can you share with us with example and how your clients leverage on all these social media to grow the business, particularly on the during the MCO durations?
Oh, sure. Okay, so I think LinkedIn, we can talk about it later, but I think for those, a lot of people are very young, so they may not they may not remember this thing called Yellow Pages. So it's basically a book that your mom will help you with if you don't do your homework. But LinkedIn is actually the 21st century version of Yellow Pages. I always believe whoever you want to connect with is just 3 to 4 degrees away only. So definitely a good place to start. Okay, so back to the question is that, actually, just now what Rachel mentioned and knowing CK's story as well, one thing that we actually encourage our clients, and he has worked tremendously well, is that they must become the KPI of their own company, the key person of influence. So like CK is basically of Oxwhite. I saw Vince's name come up as well from Entrepreneur Masterclass. A very simple example. So locally, we have Vivi Yusof. If you go to Instagram and you go to Vivi Yusof's Instagram link, you can see that she has, I think, close to 2 million followers. But if you go to her company's page on same on Instagram as well, I think she only has about 600,000 to 700,000, which is still a lot, to be frank. But what the point I'm trying to say over here is that people actually follow people. They don't follow companies. So that's why gone are the days where the CEO try to hide behind their brand. Sometimes you don't even know who's the owner of the company, right? But nowadays, if you really want that edge, you have to basically show up on social media. More strategically, not about posting food and whatnot, but how do you actually engage your followers? So a lot of people actually ask, so Maverick, you talk about your title being new profit consultant. So what do you usually do? We basically help you find new money. I think that's always a good thing for Asians. So one thing, if you can know, we have like about almost 600 people on this Zoom call as well. I think 1,000 over on the Facebook Live. If you want, if you just go to your chat message, you can actually type this into your social media today. You just put help needed. I've been asked to write a book. What topic should I pick? When we did this, we have 200 to 400 over comments per person. So not just ours, you have, and that is, so a lot of people will think that, yeah, I think my social media, people don't engage and stuff like this. That's not true, because once you ask questions that are open-ended like this, okay, people will give you weird suggestions, become a comedian or whatnot. But the truth is that end of the day, when it comes to social media, it's not about selling, it's about starting conversations. That's the thing that we have actually forgotten. We always think that, oh, we do ads just to get conversion and all that. But what happened to conversations? Because out of 10 people, the truth is that if let's say I don't know your brand, just like if you walk on the street, someone come over and give you a pamphlet, usually you just take the pamphlet and siam and go away because you don't know who the brand is. But if let's say it's a brand like Samsung, it's a brand like Apple, it's a brand like if Oxwhite ever opens an outlet, for example, people will be drawn to actually go in. Why? For two things, because they are a well-known brand, and secondly, perhaps they actually know CK as well. So the personal touch is one thing that we always encourage our clients to do. So for everyone that is actually here as well, you know what, while we are listening to this, why not make some extra money by the end of the day? Just post that question on your social media and just wait and let the magic happen.
That is a very good suggestion. And especially importantly, when you mention about KPI, with the new age of marketing, key person influencer is definitely playing a very important role. So we talk about contents, we talk about engagement, we even talk about budget a little bit just now. Of course, we all hope that we can grow our business from an organic traffic standpoint. But the reality is we still need to run ads to boost our posts, right? So what is the percentage distribution between all this organic traffic and paid ads for your social media? And how do you grow your organic traffic? Jerrick, maybe you want to share a little bit of the Exabyte standpoint?
Okay, so for us, definitely, of course, we are looking for the organics reach is more than 50% compared to the paid, but it's going to be a little bit hard, especially B2B. So in most cases, we usually use paid more. So we actually allocate more budgets to boost our posts, especially the posts that we believe have higher engagements and something valuable to our clients. if let's say you guys are looking to increase on organic, probably you guys can look back hashtag. Recently, Facebook keep on mentioning about hashtag. So hashtag is something that already very long times ago, but recently they try to cut up, asking even Instagram, even Facebook, try use back hashtag, and they're trying to prove that by using hashtag, your organic reach will be increased definitely. So recently they are keep on pushing on hashtag. So this is something that we're going to look into this.
Okay, yeah. That is great. That is great. But we also talk about budget, right? What is the percentage of your ad budget on social media, and how do you work out the percentage if compared to the other channels? Maybe Maverick, you want to take it out from an agency standpoint and how you can help your clients to plan for the budgets?
Oh, sure. So end of the day, again, it goes back to their their clients and who are they actually targeting as well. So for example, let's say they're targeting a lot of people that are on social media, Facebook, for example, then I guess it will be a lot more heavier, 70 to 80% on it. Whereas some who are doing B2B, like for example, like Nikhil, for example, Nikhil is a client. If he's targeting a lot of business clients, basically B2B, actually not spending that much, I will actually go to Upwork and basically look for lead generators to generate leads from LinkedIn, because instead of spending money on social media, because business owners, they are actually on social media, but sometimes when you go to social media as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you kind of just, I don't want to talk about business anymore.
Of course,
look at bikini photos or cat playing piano, those kind of stuff. But so LinkedIn is actually a proper space, but it is time consuming. So ads on LinkedIn work if you have quite a sizable budget, but we have done so many comparisons before, actually outsourcing to Upwork to generate leads from LinkedIn, and then we basically send them cold email scripts and all that. That's a lot better as well. So that one, if you say how much is being spent on ads, it's actually close to zero, but of course you need to spend money on outsourcing as well. So I guess like at the end of the day, it's always what's the best way to, like for example, if you ask me, if you own a swimming class and you want to market in areas like Bangsa or Taman Tun, the best ROI, believe it or not, is leaflet dropping. Because if you drop the leaflets in the post box, if the house don't have a maid, usually it's the grandparents that actually clear the post box. So the grandpa will basically go to the post box, take out the flyer and see, hey, you know what? I think Chachai, my grandson, don't know how to swim. So he will pick up the phone, call the in-law or call the son or the daughter. Okay, before you say anything, daddy's gonna send, I know you have no time, you just pay on it. So if you think about it, right, in this simple example, the user itself is actually the grandkid. But if you advertise on TikTok, Instagram, trying to get the grandkid, the kid's like, man, I want to play games. I don't go for the stupid swimming class. If you advertise on Facebook and you get the parents, you are just going to instill guilt, because the parents are like, yeah, I know my kid cannot swim, flood, sure die on, but I really want to have chill at home and stuff like this. So you go to the grandparents, and grandparents, like it or not, they are still very tactile. They still like to touch flyers and all that. So the user is the grandkid. The person who pays is actually the parents, but the decision maker is actually the grandparents. So end of the day, you just have to ask who's the one that called the shots. Not always is the person who actually pays the bills.
Yeah. Nikhil, you mentioned about your business is new. Do you start engaging or using social to drive the awareness of your business and spend some ad money or budget on that?
Not at the moment, and I do not even plan to. Especially at this point of time, in the past also I've done it where I've stayed very lean, where without spending money, literally started growing the follower base. And what I've realized that organic followers have been more loyal. Of course, it depends upon the entire experience that I provide to them, right? If they have become my customers and entire journey. So the way I look at it, that if I'm a small scale business and I have my target set, which is not to be like $1 billion company, or maybe I know that, okay, maybe it can be like it should be making 5,000 ringgit, 10,000 ringgit or 20,000 ringgit as profit. I would like to maximize my profit. How do I do that? I would like to increase the ticket size, the average spending that the customer pay. These are the things which I follow. Whereas also if I do not have complete understanding, because if I'm advising a people, right, that, okay, hey, these are the channels that you do, but they still do not understand, or they are not investing their time by themselves to understand about digital marketing, then I would say, guys, either learn, prepare yourself, or otherwise don't throw money. Go with the easier option. If your product is very good, if your quality is very good, if your servicing is very good, if your the entire service industry is very good, stick with it. And over the period of time, learn, and then maybe start investing 1%, 2%, and 5% of your money into the digital spends. And of course, calculate the ROI, right? In terms of the traffic, reach and comment, likes and follows, sales, all these things it needs to be. But try to ensure that you are spending your cost per sales is not going beyond in the double digit, right? It should be below 10%. That's the good figure to start with.
Okay, thanks for that, Nikhil. Rachel, you talked about storytelling just now. Especially when Oxwhite started to build the brands, and now that Oxwhite has been quite popular and famous on social media, and what is your continuous content strategy moving forward? And since content is so important for you guys.
So I think the first question to look at is what role, right, does social media play in our current business? So we are a very community-centric brand. We leverage on social media to gather feedback, not just a one-way street telling people about the campaigns we're running or promos they're running, but we leverage on it to gather feedback on customer experience, product development, reviews, even sharing of new product launches to engage with them, right? So we actually have about, right now, we have Facebook pages, IG page as well, and we have a closed group. It's a Facebook group where Oxwhite fans can actually engage with our founder. And that group alone has about over 20,000 followers, right? And this group itself gives them a chance to actually ask us any questions that they want, right? About even product development sometimes. So we have fans who even say, hey, are you going to launch long sleeve shirt or long sleeve casual wear? And we're like, oh, okay, why do you think that will work, right? So we engage with them and we get it. We use this chance and opportunity to engage with them for feedback as well as for product development. So in terms of content strategy for social media, I think one is, besides making sure that your content is relevant, useful, it has to be informational, right, for customers. And by engaging them to provide feedback to our content, they also feel like, hey, they're part of the brand. So there's a very strong community relationship between the brand and the community of customers who buy our product. And we use this platform to also share tips, tricks for our products apart from just postings to gain likes and engagement. So I think that matters a lot in terms of content strategy. But content also goes beyond social media, right? It's also about PR, for example, word of mouth, getting media publishers to write about you and all that. So that then goes to the second part of what I'd like to share about, because you were asking just now about organic traffic versus paid traffic, right? Yep. So for us, because just to share, we started off of course, running a lot of paid ads, right, on Facebook particularly, right? And eventually, you realize that your CAC is going to keep going up, right, if you keep just spending on that one platform, and if people have already heard of your brand. So the goal is, of course, to achieve at least a 50-50 split, I would say, for paid and organic traffic. To do that, a lot of our initiatives would include community engagement via social media, through videos, for example, through community clips that we can actually ask people about, hey, how do you like this product? And we feature this community as well as part of our content, right? Through EDM as well. So EDM to us is actually one of the biggest conversion channel other than website or Facebook ads. And then group postings in our community garners very high engagement rate. Now, some of the PR activities that we do as well with influencers or personalities, so it involves our brands and people who like the brand or are already buyers of the brand. Then we go to them and we say, hey, we realize that you like this brand. Would you like to work with us? So we look at brand fit as well when it comes to influencers or personalities. And then with media, we also look at, hey, introducing this product to them and finding angles that would work for the media so that they would write content about Oxwhite, right? Versus just shouting about your campaigns or your 99, your 1111, your 1212, and so on. right? Now, in terms of partnerships, I think in terms of organic traffic, one way to grow it is also to partner up with bigger companies, such as banks, telcos, other lifestyle brands that you can leverage on, right? So for example, in the last 2 months, right, we started working with banks, we started working with Digi, Maxis, Celcom, U Mobile as well to tap onto their user base and their marketing communication channel, right? And this allows us to then reach out to a new pool of demographic of audience by offering them something special and introduce them with Oxwhite products through, say, voucher codes, for example, or cash rebates. And having this whole customer flow from various channels allows us to then rely lesser on just paid ads alone, right? And ensuring, of course, an efficient customer journey. The CRM part is very important as well. How do we reactivate a customer, right, who has purchased? How do we get them to come back again? Our return rate, like I said, about 4 out of 10 customers come back every month to purchase something from Oxwhite. So it's very, very high. It's very high also because we're constantly launching new products, making sure that it's fresh, making sure that these products are relevant, making sure that they're practical as well. And then we constantly initiate and reactivate them through our CRM efforts, right, to ensure that the retention rate stays high. So we're definitely very, very conscious when it comes to all these marketing efforts lah. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Content is still very, very important as you shared just now. The next question will be a hot topic. During MCO, there are many live show happens on social platforms, right? Be it webinar, live show to sell stuff. How do you see these developments from your experience standpoint? And do you think this will continue in Malaysia? Any case study you can share? I mean, open to the floor. Everyone can answer.
So I think from my point of view, so before Oxwhite, I was with Shopee, right? And we launched Shopee Live as a platform for live streaming, right? And you see a lot of sellers and merchants actually selling on Shopee Live. Conversion may not be as high at the start because it's more for awareness and it's more of getting the brand out there, getting people exposed to your product. And the content of the show and the live stream is very important, right? Is it going to be just one salesperson talking and talking and talking? Or is it going to be something interesting where you can engage with someone, give them some voucher, drop some giveaway, have some Q&A, etc. So from my point of view, I think be it live show or webinars or to sell stuff, I feel that this is definitely a trend that a lot of brands are starting to go into. I see a lot of agencies, especially social agencies or creative agencies, going into offering these kind of services. Even influencer agencies are offering live streaming services, getting the influencers to stream on their IG Live, etc. So it's definitely a platform to look out for. In fact, I think it's growing, it's booming. In the last 6 months or so, you see, especially MCO, people can't go out. They are relying a lot on live streaming to sell their products or to reach out to new audiences, right? So that actually is something that personally I would like to share. Oxwhite has not actually done live streaming yet. We are looking at it. In fact, we're launching our Shopee store in next week on Monday. But from my past experience with e-commerce platform, a lot of brands, for example, another direct-to-consumer brand like Nilofa, right? Her scarf, I actually worked with her brand before to do a live stream, and her live stream itself achieved about over 60,000 sales, right? In that 45 minutes. And the content was not even about the scarf. The content was about, hey, behind the scenes of Nilofa at her house, right? Like showing people her bedroom, showing people about, like her behind the scenes, how she styled, her look and feel and all that. And at the start of the live stream, you see these products and the scarves popping up and like, hey, for this hour only, get this at this price, etc. So all these things actually play a very strong role. And I think that this is a very big opportunity for SMEs and brands to sell their stuff.
With interest the audience, right? Because these are what the audience want to know and want to learn. And along the way, you just plan the native ad accordingly and get people buy the stuff, right?
Yes.
Any panelists want to add on for these particular topics?
Actually, one of the largest contribution of our income during the MCO period was actually doing webinars. On our site, we make 6 figures just doing that. And we actually teach that technique to actually our clients as well. So the good thing is that, you see, last time, perhaps the concept of going online and watching live stuff is like not really a big thing for most people. But because of the MCO, people were bored and they were looking for entertainment, you see. So normally it takes about 21 days to actually form a new habit. The truth is that the MCO was longer than 21 days. Whatever habit that was formed during that time, it will most probably stick. So if let's say you're already used to ordering food, like me, I'm not a food person. I'm not a tapao person, but no choice at that time. And then I started exploring tapao food, right? So same thing with webinars and Facebook Lives as well. 85% of the content in the world right now on social media is actually video based. And good thing is a couple of years ago, when you upload a video on YouTube, your friends will get a notification that Serm has uploaded a video. Nowadays, you don't get that notification, but you get another kind of notification, which is your Serm is actually is live right now. So even Facebook is actually giving you free publicity when you do Facebook Live. So the way I look at it, as being an opportunist, if Mark Zuckerberg just want to push this feature out, you just ride along with the wave, because 6 months down the road, we don't know what feature is going to push. So that watch party, just write on the existing new habits that are formed, and you'll be surprised at what you can get. So like Rachel was mentioning, like Nilofa, if you just go to Facebook, you go and, I don't know the exact name, but you just type Bangkok Emas, it's actually a gold shop in Tawau. So you go and check out their Facebook Live. They literally sell gold jewelry from a small town in Tawau online during Facebook Live. So believe it or not. So as ridiculous as it sounds.
Yeah, seriously. Let's jump to the questions from the audience since we have limited time. Nikhil, you mentioned that you did not spend much money on marketing at the early stage of MysteryQR. What strategy do you deploy to grow your followers organically?
Okay, so for me right now, business matters, right? It's not about followers or something. The way I'm approaching is I'm accessing to the communities, right? So for example, Bukit Bintang Foundation or KL Society, these communities are acting as an influencer, because when they go to businesses and say that, hey, guys, we really need to do something to bring back the traffic, to bring back the customers, and we really need to use newer technology, that is helping much better. So the communities, the B2B, my old contacts and all that, the businesses, sometimes I see that, okay, there are some business who are trying to do the same thing since last 1 year or 2 years and it's not resulting. So I just tell them that, okay, hey, how about I do a free campaign for you? I just give you a technology, use it on your own channel, put it on your business card, even put it on your leaflets or flyers or something and try it out and see the impact, right? Whether does it make sense for you to do this versus your old conventional one. These are the personalized things. It matters to me. It matters more, because also I need to spend time to educate the people on how or what exactly the technology is and how the application can be used. It's not that today you get up and you understood the, let's say, e-wallet. Hey, yeah, okay, e-wallet, I understand. No, there's a lot of investments being done by the big shots to educate the people. In the same way, the new technology, in the same transform business. In the same way, I need to spend time to train people to have that face-to-face interactions, visit shopping malls, talk to the organizers, and talk directly to the decision makers who can influence the decisions of the long merchants. That is the strategy which I would do. So rather than being at home, I would prefer to go on ground and actually do the door knocking and seek the feedback as well, that what are the problems that we can solve it, and then accordingly develop and build it.
Okay, thank you, Nikhil. We are running out of time. Question from the audience for Rachel. Maybe you can try to finish the answer by 30 seconds. For the social engagement group mentioned by Rachel, I am sure there would be some negative comment in there. How do you deal with the negative comments?
Yeah, so I think with any business that you run, there will be negative comments with positive comments, right? And I think it's important to be as transparent as possible. So of course, when it comes to negative comments, we will address the concerns and acknowledge the consumers' anger or frustrations, right? And then of course, offer apology if it's needed, and then offer a solution, right? So as a brand, I think we need to remain as true to our vision as possible, as well as transparent as possible. So customers, I feel they appreciate that honesty. And if we were a brand that we messed up, we would say, hey, we're sorry, here's our apology, here's a solution. But if we did not mess up, then of course it's about, hey, how do we clarify this in a manner that makes the customer feels acknowledged, at the same time not hurt or not frustrated further, right? I also see another question, just quick one, to Rachel, how do I identify social media as a suitable service provider for businesses, right? So I think that one really depends on the nature of the product, which I believe will cater to the target audience that you are selling to. So for example, for Oxwhite, we have various products. So basic t-shirts and all that, we're targeting the working crowd. We're targeting 25 to 35, and we go where we will find them. For example, Facebook ads or Instagram ads. And if we are selling an oversized tee, for example, or cute looking designer tee that targets your younger audience and camera bags, then we will utilize platforms like IG and TikTok, for example. Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for all the fantastic questions from all the attendees. We have learned so much from our panelists today. Personally, my top 3 takeaways are: first, social media is here to stay, and it will continually play a very significant role in the digital ecosystem, especially to help us to accelerate our business. Secondly, whatever you think about social, don't just think about spending ad budgets. I think it's very important, as panelists sharing with us, you need to develop a proper content strategy. There's no point for you to generate leads without a great content. Last but not least, engagement is the king. Social media player comes and go. The key for you is to keep engaging with your audience and customer. Show them you care about them, show them your love, and the rest will follow. Time's up, and let's give a big hand virtually to our amazing panelists, Jerrick, Nikhil, Rachel, and Maverick. Thanks to everyone, and enjoy the rest of the events. Rorin, back to you.
Thank you so much, Serm. I think you did a marvelous job, each and every single one of you. We're so happy to have you here on board with us at the SME Digital Summit 2020. You brought so much to the table, and I'm sure that you have basically made everyone's day, because it was such an interesting panel discussion to listen to, and I think you set the mood for the entire day. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. Nikhil, Rachel, Serm, Jerrick, thanks so much, and Maverick. See you guys in a bit. Bye.